It's been more on New Year, so I should.
Okay, it's 7:05. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Welcome to the final Crystal McAuliffe Intermediate School PTO Inc. PTO meeting for the 2021-2022 school year, and my final meeting as the president. I want to thank everybody for a great 5 years, and looking forward to seeing what you all are going to do in the future, because I know you're going to take this and you're going to rock it. That being said, we're still letting people in. I will just go over. We have the agenda. Yes, please mute yourself if you are coming in. Please mute yourself. Co-hosts can mute people if they see that they're coming in. All of the current and future exec members are co-hosts, so you guys can do that. Thank you, Tracy. So we emailed the agenda as well as the budgets for the next year and also the treasury report for this year. So we're going to get rid of the usual stuff that we have to do, the homework, the housekeeping stuff, and then we'll move on to basically questions and answers and update everybody what's going on. So the first thing I'm going to try to do is to share the treasurer's report for Madeline. Madeline sends her apologies. She has another event at her other school, so she couldn't make it. So I'm going to fill in for her. Let's see, share screen. Where is it? Share screen. I never get this right. So we want to do Treasurer's Report 2022. So does everybody see the Treasurer's Report 2022 up? Is that up there? Great. Somebody, yes? Okay, great. So I'm just going to scroll through this. So on May 13th, we had a beginning balance of $82,212. We took in $6,626 from Snack Shack, $140 in merchandise, for a total of $6,766 in income. And we had expenses of Snack Shack was $23.59, the ice cream $7.12, the bus trips that we pay for, we try to subsidize bus trips for the kids because they're too expensive. That was $80. Spotify was a school grant. Miss Jaffe is doing, I believe it is a podcast thing with all of the kids. So that's a fabulous thing. That was $23.59. That is that was $13.26. That is a yearly subscription that the new board can decide whether or not to continue, depending on how well it's received. The graduation, so there's the graduation, that's actually graduation, the dance for Mr. Abdul Bell. He was the DJ, that was $400. Liquid Dreams, that was the banner for the school, that's $140. We paid $175 for an individual who couldn't participate, which was what we do. We've done that before, and we do it all the time gladly for anybody who needs it. ACs are $5,560. We gave graduation gifts. We have chargers for their devices. So it's wireless charger with our logo on it. And that's a white charger with I believe it's black and white lettering. It's really nice. We bought those for our graduates, and I was reimbursed there. We have graduation pictures the day of the graduation, and we have the 8th grade dance pictures, and Miss Forsythe for teacher appreciation as well. So as far as the pictures go, I sent out a link for the dance. So if your children went to the dance last week or 2 weeks ago, then you received a link to those pictures. A lot of pictures, like 700 pictures. They will be available for 30 days and then they disappear. And they'll be the same thing for the graduation ceremony. You can download any or all of them. We paid for it, so that's up to you to do what you want with those. That's the PTO's gift to everybody for the 8th grade dance and for the graduation. So the total is $71,334.64. That's how much that we have going forward. And of course, we'll have a bunch of expenses in June. We're spending money on making the graduation nice. We're doing balloons and an arch, a bunch of other stuff that we're doing, a couple of breakfasts and other stuff that we are subsidizing for the school. And that'll be, that'll show on the year-end financial report that you guys will see in September. So let me see if I can stop this screen share. Stop share. And I'm going to make this one disappear. And now I'm going to go to the proposed budget. So, Mr. Berman, do you see the proposed budget in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Wonderful. So this is something that we have to pay attention to. This is just a draft budget, proposed budget for next year. It's based upon our expenses this year, and it's something that we propose to the principal. We have to submit to him or her, and then it's something that the membership looks at and adjusts next September as needed. So we're just going to go through with this. So the first is how much we usually take in. So we usually have, if you could see that, we have donations from corporate. We get a few of those. We get anonymous donations. This is kind of like historically, we still get box tops for $50 that people bring in. Our bake sales, previously, we've made a lot of money on those. We do not know if we're going to have bake sales in the traditional way next year. We put it in here because we're hoping that things are normal. And that would be like the last 2 days of the month, we would do bake sales. And this is historically what we've been able to make. The spring gala, this is the total income. We have expenses later on. The school store sales is apparel and stuff. We actually make money on the pictures. So we take pictures every year through Class Act. It's a really good deal. We send a couple of volunteers in there to help out. And for like 2 or 3 days effort, we get like $4,000. The mega raffle, again, that's the gross, that's not the net. And the snack shack is 30,000. That's including all of the stuff that we do, but then that's gross and not net as well, because there are expenses associated with that. So now these are the expenses that we have. And this is based upon historical numbers. AC repairs and replacement is 12. Assemblies, we've had a couple of assemblies this year. It'll be up to the new board if they want to do more different assemblies. So we budgeted 14,000. That's bake sales, and like if we buy Skittles or some stuff to sell to the kids. The carnival last year, most of the funding for the carnival was from NIA, I apologize. And so we don't really have a ton of money in there. We're just incidentals. Like I think this year we're buying ice and some other things. We haven't had school concessions and hospitality for a long time. We've been virtual, and next year you may be virtual, you may be blended. It'll be up to the PTA board, the PTO board, what they want to do. But if you're going to be in person, then usually have coffee, maybe some little finger food for people to enjoy. Graduation, that would include the venue, some kind of subsidization, decorations, supplies, gifts. Senior day, we budgeted 15,000. National Honor Society, that would be sashes, gifts for the kids. Gala expenses, that's all the stuff that we use. We buy stuff to auction off, is 20. The mega raffle is $10,000, which is the prize. The planners, we give planners to all of our children. Kim has been asked and is happy to do one more planner for this year, working with the incoming people so they can take it over. We use the same vendor as we use for Brooklyn Tech. So we get, we have a lot, we get a better deal from them. because we do those two big schools. And that's something that the new board can take a look at and decide what they want to do going forward. Staff appreciation, again, that's teacher breakfast, usually on different days. We feed the teachers because of all the hard work they do. Grants for different schools, that might be something like books or whatever, school improvements. An example of the school improvements would be the signage that's going up. Volunteer appreciation, we really haven't done much with that at all. That would be like taking all of the old and the new SLT and the executive board members out. I don't really think we've done that in a while. Writing booklets, we give all incoming sixth graders a grammar booklet. We've been doing that forever. This year we did sixth and seventh graders because kids didn't get it. And that is it. So this is where I need your help. I'd like to make a motion to approve this budget for next year. I need someone to unmute and second it.
Aye.
Thank you very much. All in favor, please indicate it somehow. Thumbs up, aye, wave, anything. I'm looking at the participant list or the chat. You can put it in the chat. Thank you. Now, here's a big question. Is anybody opposed to approving this draft budget? If anybody opposes, we have to do a vote. So please don't oppose it. I don't want to do that. I see no objections to the budget. Going once, going twice. Thank you. The draft budget is approved. And that's for you guys to work on it in the fall to decide if you want to amend it in any way. So I'm going to stop this share. Get rid of that. And Jason, are you there?
Yes, I am.
So I'm going to post the minutes. Do you have a problem if we just waive reading?
Nope, that's totally fine.
Thank you. So share screen. So you should be seeing the screen of the minutes. Is that true? Can I get a thumbs up? Yes? Do we see the minutes? Great. I'll just leave them up a few minutes. We can just review them. If anybody has any questions, you can ask it at the end. I do want to reiterate or just mention again that our elections were held last month, and our co-presidents are Steve Chen and Mariana Boitatova. Our recording secretary is Tracy Lee. Our new treasurer, Yaman Lau. Vice President of Fundraising, Sophie Chen. Vice President of Parent Involvement, Hong Ti Tao and Kataya Syed. And as well as SLT elections, Sophia Chen, Hong Ti Tao, and Manal Zoabi. So just want to make sure that they're here. Most of those people are here. Welcome. And I'm very excited again to pass this off to you.
Yep. And Vito, we also have Rubina, who is vice president. I don't believe we have like another designation, but I will get you the last name in a second.
Oh, so we need to amend the minutes then, Vice President?
Right, yes.
Okay. Thank you for that. So
And if I
Jason,
may-
could you make that change in the Word document, and I will fix it and I will put it in the file.
Yes, and it's Rubina YEH.
If you could send a separate chat note to me, private chat, I'd appreciate it with the spelling. I don't recall this name appearing during the elections, but I'll certainly add it.
Okay.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Marina. Okay, so I'm going to stop this share. And All right, so wonderful. So okay, so I'm going to now just go over some things that we had. So we had the 8th grade dance and it was a phenomenal success. I was so happy to be able to participate and help out. The kids loved it. We were at Encore, which is 100th Street and 4th Avenue in Bay Ridge. The kids all had a great time. Again, the pictures are posted. Also, the National Junior Honor Society was last month. We gave gifts out to the kids. Senior items coming up. So we do have a senior breakfast and the graduation. There are, you know what? Hold on 1 second. So we do have, hold on. I was actually looking at the wrong agenda. All right, there we go. So yeah, so the senior, we have a couple of different things that are coming up. We have a senior day coming up, and we do have graduation. As I said, graduation, or the 8th graders will receive the whole list. We're purchasing balloons, and we have gifts for graduation. And for the National Junior Honor Society kids, they all have sashes. I do want to mention something. It's very important. So Friday at 4:30, there is going to be a rally at Tweed in response to the high school and the high school admissions process. I know firsthand that there were many upset children at 187 and throughout the city that, because this was a lottery, did not get matched to a school. A lot of kids did not get matched to school. These are kids who did super well on their iReady assessments, did super well on their grades, and they were put in a giant band and given a lottery number. And a lot of them didn't get a great lottery number, so they didn't get great offers. And there's going to be a rally at 4:30 in front of Tweed, 52 Chambers Street. And I have to tell you, I posted something on my Facebook group. 4 years ago today was my first rally where we marched across the Brooklyn Bridge and we rallied in front of City Hall because of the SHSAT and the changes they wanted to make. So it's very fitting that, you know, 4 years and 2 days, I'm going to finish off the same way. I'm going to be there at 4:30, and I have to emphasize it's really important. There are 2 ways to make your voices heard. The first is to vote, and I urge everyone to do that. And the second is to protest and make sure that they hear you and that they hear you're not happy. I know lots of parents weren't happy, okay? But you can't just complain about it on Facebook or Twitter or in a chat or anywhere else. You got to make your voices heard. And sometimes this is how you have to do it. Please join me at 4:30 in front of Tweed on Friday. It really could use your help, and I'll be there, and we'll be rallying the troops one last time before I leave. So that being said, now Mr. Berman and I will do our tag team usually. I'm going to give it to him, or Brianne, do you want to do your safety thing first?
If I may, and I'll just say a couple things just to piggyback off of you, Mr. Labella. Just want to take an opportunity to thank you and Mrs. Labella, Mrs. Ligori, our outgoing PTO members, and maybe reminisce with you a little bit and share with the rest of our parents that, you know, we've had a tremendously active PTA over the past several years with Mr. Labella at the helm. And I want you to know that, and you may realize that over the years, if you've been coming to these PTO meetings and know anything about our school, is that we have an excellent relationship. What I want you to know, though, is that that doesn't mean we always agree. And when I first met Mr. Labella, it was about a disagreement. And I look back then and I see how far Mr. Labella has come with his involvement from, we talk about making your voice heard. And it was really through, making his voice heard about some school policies and just coming to one meeting and realizing, hey, I want to get involved and I can make a difference. And he has certainly made a tremendous difference, not just for the students of our school, especially for the students of our school, but really for students and families across the city. And I like to think that somehow, in some small way, we were involved with supporting you and your voice and allowing your voice to be heard and thanking you for having that energy and willingness to share that to make our city better and our schools better for everyone. So that's just really, really wonderful. So thank you. I'll never forget that first SLT meeting. You weren't even a member. You were just a parent who we invited to come because we wanted to hear what you had to say. Because, by the way, parents, that's how we operate at the Krista McCullough School, and I hope you'll see that and take Mr. Labella's example. And for those of you who want to get involved, and the opportunities are there, and we want to hear what you have to say to help make our school better. That said, thank you. And I want to also thank our incoming board for stepping up and making sure that we have a fully functional, solid PTO moving forward to next year. It's so important for the support of our students. And it's so great to see so many people involved and again, being role models for other parents and certainly role models for your children about giving back and providing service and being involved in a larger community. So thank you for that. Now, I do want to turn this over to Mrs. Gasser, who's done a wonderful job as our AP for security. We've had, I will say we have had before she gets into our town hall sort of section and share some things. I will tell you over the past 2 days, we have had some issues at our school, which are really quite disturbing. We had some boys in a bathroom doing some vandalism in the bathroom. We also had a light fixture in one of our staircases vandalized today. It was actually ripped off the wall and left with wires hanging. These are behaviors that are really foreign to us at the Krista McCullough School. And we're going to work very hard to make sure that these are behaviors that are stopped immediately and that these kinds of things don't continue at our school. It's something that has really upset the administration of our school. And I know we have a carnival scheduled for Friday, but right now we're not in a carnival mood. That said, perhaps we can be brought to a carnival mood by Friday. And I do hope that's the case. But that said, I want to turn this over to Mrs. Seda. I know I call her Mrs. Gasser. I probably will for a long time. I know she doesn't entirely mind it, but I'm going to work really hard. And this is Mrs. Seda. They're all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Berman. So this is just the safety review for the school year. So we have completed all of our fire drills and our soft lockdown drills. The fire drills were completed. We did 8 of those throughout the school year. And then we've also have done 4 lockdown drills. So the lockdown drills are in case an intruder comes into the building, and we have been preparing students for that through these drills. As far as COVID procedures go, we are still handing out the test kits to students. They have been coming home with them each week, and we will continue to do that until the end of the school year. In light of recent events that have occurred with school shootings and stuff like that, we are taking some future safety precautions because we do think that the safety is the most important in our school building. So we have been looking into having a camera and a buzzer to buzz people in so that we can see who is entering our building before people are entering, to allow more safety within our school community, and that we will get train our school safety agents and everything else so that we can be safe and make sure all the students and faculty members are safe within our building. The other precaution that we are taking is that during soft lockdown drills, we are looking to have our doors locked at all times and purchasing these magnet strips that will go on the door and will allow for teachers not to have to actually lock their doors during an actual soft lockdown drill, or God forbid, in the event of an actual intruder in the building, that they'll be able just to close the doors and lock the doors to save some time within those drills and in case of any future events. As far as everything else, for safety reasons, we have entry and dismissal are still the same. The students are outside during those times. We are asking, especially within the last week, to make sure that you are not blocking the 65th Street or the 64th Street bus lanes. So just making sure that 12th Avenue and 65th Street is clear. And I think that's pretty much it for the safety memo. And we'll have another one in September to go over safety precautions for next school year.
Thank you very, very much. And I want to sort of open it up to our parents and our members. If I'd like to get some feedback on your thoughts about securing the doors during the school day, if that's something that you think is a good idea, not a good idea. We're kind of pushing the envelope on this. I can tell you that I received a quote today from one vendor for one system. The system would include camera, microphone, and buzzer system for the front door, and also for the back. That would help us with our students going outside for PE, so we can make sure that they can get in and out of the building safely. We have them walking around the building now to go into the front of the building to go in and out. But the electric scooter traffic on 65th Street and even on 12th Avenue is horrendous. I've called and made a 311 complaint about that. Parents, I would urge you to, if you see a scooter or someone zooming down the sidewalk by our school, please call 311 and let them know. They send the police come and say, well, we don't see any scooters, and they close the case. But I don't blame them. But I think if there are calls, then perhaps we can do something different. I will add, we're using the, I guess they're stanchions that we got for the main office during the pandemic, you know, sort of like movie theater ropes. And we put those out in the morning to prevent the vehicular traffic on 65th Street. But that was an issue too. So we decided to also include the buzzer system for the back. But that system with both of those areas came in at around $7,500, which our PTO has graciously agreed to certainly consider funding. And hopefully you will. Hopefully you'll see the need for that. The idea is that all of the doors of the school are locked right now during the day as standard course, except for the front doors. Those are open. We want to keep those locked as well to prevent people from just running into the building. We did have somebody run into the building this year. An unstable individual who came in, pushed one of our school aides, and then fortunately ran out of the building, attempted to come back in, and Peter, one of our custodial members, and I discouraged him from coming back in the building, and we waited for the police to come. But I feel it's very, very important that we secure the building so that people can't just come in anytime they want. And again, some feedback, or, on that issue, any of the other issues, or any other safety issues. This is a good opportunity. And, but yeah.
7,500. So let me share that the CEC is working on a resolution. We'll probably get one done by September to advocate for this, not just in 187, but for all the schools. The city notoriously drags its feet on this, and here's the pros and the cons. So the pro is we get it done. We spend the 7,500 bucks. We have the money, thankfully, very generous families. And then, maybe in a couple of months that the DOE says you can't do it and makes us rip it out. So we lost the money, or they say it doesn't meet their requirements and they make us buy it again, or make Mr. Berman buy it again with his money. Or they say that we'll give it to you for free. It just may take longer. So those are the downsides of possible what happens. And I'm of the mind, if we have the money, if our parents want to spend it, we spend it, so that in the interim, but before they figure out what to do, we have it in place. Again, that'll be for the new board to decide what they want to do, and the new families. What is the time frame if you decide on the vendor that you would like to get it done, Mr. Berman?
As soon as possible, like within weeks. I think it's something that's that important. And again, I want to make sure people understand, we're not changing anything else about the building or entering or exiting other than locking the front doors, like all the other doors of the building. Anyone can still get out. The push bars are active.
Right.
We're not disabling or doing anything to prevent any exiting from the building. We're just preventing unfettered access. And just like almost every other school outside of the New York City public school system, almost every office building in Manhattan, doctor's office, dentist's office, you name it. And it's unfortunate that we live in a world where we have to worry about psychopaths running into a building and harming children. But this is unfortunately the world that we live in. And it's something that I feel like we could do better at. Nothing's perfect. We're not going to solve all problems, but we can do better than we're doing now. And I don't think, I think the benefits far outweigh the risks. Far outweigh the risks. I understand perhaps maybe the problem is that an emergency responder couldn't get into the building somehow through the front door if the front door was locked. I can assure you our firefighters know very well how to get through locked doors. I don't think there's a door around that can stop them. And by the way, we can still open the doors. Push the door and it opens. So I think that any of those downsides are outweighed by the benefits of having a secure building.
Right, that makes sense. So then, do we need to, like, I don't know the procedure quite yet, like there is an outgoing board and the new board, and whether like this is something that like maybe we will consult with you, Vito, right?
Well, I mean,
or
if
is it something that can be decided here?
we can take a vote to approve it. And unfortunately, Madeline is not here. This would go toward this year's, it would be a school improvement line item. So I think we could easily make a motion to move in $8,000 into the school improvement. And give Mr. Berman that leeway, and if it's
may,
approved,
if, if I may.
go ahead.
This is one estimate that we have from one company. I do have another company that I want, so that we can at least one other company, have them come in and give us an estimate as well, so that we can be sure that we're getting the right equipment, we're getting the right price, that everything is done in a fair way, that we really make sure that we are good custodians of the PTO's money and just don't spend things improperly. So again, I think if we wanted to vote to allocate some funds for this system, I think that would be great. But I would reserve, allocating funds for a specific company in a specific amount, because again, I think I would rather present the options and sort of say, hey, look, this is what we have. Right now we have, this buzzer system with this system, but I do want to get another quote as well.
So we could make something, we could make a motion to spend up to $10,000 on a security system and add it to the school improvement line. And we would do that both in this year's budget and in the proposed budget for next year. And that way, if this thing gets pushed to after July 1st, Steve and Marina can just carry on with it. Does that make sense, Steve? Marina, do you guys want to chime in?
No, we were chatting offline, and I think to both of us, this makes sense, right? I think at the end of the day, this is, the children's security. I think nobody really can argue against it. And unfortunately, it's been, the incidents has been heightened lately, right? So it does make sense to prepare for the first day of school, right? When there will be the most children. It does make sense to take every precaution.
Okay, great. So then I'm going to make a motion. I need someone to second it. Second, Maria,
Aye.
thank you. Thank you. So all in favor of moving $10,000 into the school improvement line?
I agree.
Katia,
Yes,
you have something to say?
I agree with Marina.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay. I was far from my phone, so
You
yeah.
scared me. Okay, so
Okay.
let me say, I gotta do this the right way now. So all in favor of moving $10,000 into the school improvement, both for this year's budget and for next year's budget, please say aye, or put it in the chat, or do a thumbs up. Okay, I'm looking. Is anybody opposed? If anybody's opposed, please unmute and indicate you're opposed, and we will take a vote. I do not see anybody opposed, so we'll make that so. Thank you so much, guys. You have now the latitude to do whatever you need to, both this year to June 30th and next year, July, August, going forward. Thank you all. Thank you out there for approving this. Mr. Berman, are you happy?
Very much so. Thank you, everyone. And I think I know our school's going to be safer because of it. So thank you. And again, I look forward to meeting with the new board and the new folks, and sharing the information that I have with the different companies, and then we can make a decision together on what we think is best.
So are there any questions for either Mr. Berman or myself about anything going on? You can put it in the chat, or you just unmute yourself, raise your hand. We are going to have the school orientation sometime in August, Mr. Berman.
Yes, we are. And I also want to thank Ms. Seda for putting together the town hall component here, and also for bringing us the idea with the magnetic strips. That is just such a great thing to help improve our security. And just so you understand, it makes it so that the teachers don't need to worry about having a key to lock the door. That doesn't seem like a big issue, but in a school where teachers could be anywhere at any time, they might not have a key for that door. It might be a specialized use room or whatever. They don't need to worry about that anymore. The doors will be open all the time as long as those magnetic strips are there, and pulling that strip off allows that door to just close and lock without a key. And it'll be great. It'll be great. So thank you for bringing that idea to us. And it's also very expensive. They're also very inexpensive. It's less than $3 a classroom. So just a great solution there.
Right. Graduation begins at 8:30. The schedule is, we do load in at 6:30. The children start to enter at 7. The adults start coming in between 7:30 and 8:30. Now they're going to be scanned, and they may or may not go through a metal detector, but they're going to be looking into bags, and they're going to be doing a security check as you would on a stadium. And then the show starts at 8:30 and it ends pretty promptly at 10 because there's another graduation right after hours. And I'm working, there's a restaurant there called, I don't know what the name of it, but right next to, because it changes hands all the time. But right next to the venue, there's a restaurant. And when I go drop off the check, I'm going to arrange to have some kind of a prefix menu for 187's kids. That would be beginning at 11. So hopefully we'll have some opportunity to take pictures on the boardwalk. And then 11 o'clock, we'll work something out where they do something for us at the restaurant right next door if people want to have lunch in Coney Island on the boardwalk. Anybody else in the chat? Okay, great. Mr. Berman, listen, we're getting out early today.
Well, I'm happy to answer any questions or anything that people have any concerns about. If not, we can certainly break. And looks like another lovely evening. We've been having some beautiful sunsets, so I do encourage you to get outside and enjoy that with your families. We still fortunately have a bit of time before that happens. It's a nice time of year, and it's certainly a busy time of year too. We'll be off. There's no school on Monday in observance of Juneteenth. This will be the first time we're recognizing that holiday here in New York City, and hopefully the weather will be great and it'll be a good time. Maybe you'll have some time off of work. Maybe take a day off if you can and do something fun with your kids. It's a great time of year to do that. But I want to thank also Mrs. Siddiqui for being here tonight. She's here as well, and not sure if we have any other staff members here. Oh, but well, I know Mrs. Palumbo is here. She's done a great job. The superintendent acknowledged our school with the account creation of the school's account of 96%. Way to go, Carla. Thank you very much. We were number 3 in the district and the number 1 middle school. I love the ring of that. Number 1 middle school always sounds great. And thank you for working so hard with our families to get that done. So yeah.
Hey, Mr. Brown, one shout out to Dr. Steinert for acting as recording secretary this past year. And of course, my wife, she's at Brooklyn Tech meeting tonight, so she could not be here. So we want to thank Kim Gillet and Madeline Lingori-Link and Yamin, who is our assistant treasurer and is taking over as treasurer. And I think that is it. I think I got everybody. So again, thank you all. And I'm going to make my final motion to adjourn. Thank you very much. We got a second. Okay, everybody, 7:50. Good night, all. Love you. And I always have 187 in my heart, and I'll be fighting for us no matter what I do down the road. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Vito.
Lavella.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
everyone.
Don't go too far, Vito.
You know me, buddy.